All right, this is One Last Midnight. Welcome back to another episode of Autonauts. Last episode, we worked on our colonists. We were able to get one colonist completed. And now we want to work on automating feeding the colonists so that he can produce an enormous amount of WOV so we can do research. What we're going to need to do that is we're going to need to create a farm. If you'll notice, I have an area down here that looks like a pretty decent farm area. It's flat. There's no trees. There's no bushes. There's no anything like that. But I need to get it prepped for farming. So let's go ahead and do that really fast. We're going to need to dig up a bunch of this turf. And we happen to have some extra bots laying about. So let's go ahead and utilize them. Now, you can either dig up turf as a manual process, or you can assign a bot to it. I'm not going to assign a bot to it right now. I will assign a bot later to do turf building and getting water and getting sand and getting all that stuff. That's my laborers group that I wind up building later in the game. For now, I'm just going to manually produce an area of ground that I can use for farming. And, if I really wanted to, I can use this already pre-existing ground for a farm. But I have a feeling later on I'll wind up using this for something different. So let me go ahead and get a spade really fast and dig up everything that I need to dig up. When you're digging up this ground, you might want to call it grass. It's not actually grass. They call this turf. So when you're digging up this turf, you wind up getting little turf resources. You can use those later as fertilization, or you can also use them to fill in dirt areas. It's your choice. I made a simple 3x4 little patch of ground for my farm. I'm going to have a mushroom farm. When you dig up mushrooms, you wind up getting little loose mushrooms that you can turn around and replant, but they have to be planted in a hole. So we're going to take a bot and we're going to make a bot do only digging. And he's going to dig holes in this specific area. So if there's dirt here, he'll come over and dig a hole, which makes it ready for planting. All right, I called this guy Mushroom Hole Digger, created a simple little program that told him to go get a spade. And then once his hands are full, to then come over into this area over here and find some soil and dig a hole in the soil. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this so that he only digs in the area that I want him to dig in. And I'm going to turn him on. I've got him running forever. He's only going to look for soil. So if there happens to be a hole there, no big deal. We're going to need some place to put our mushrooms. So let me just put a little storage unit right here and get that built really fast. Our next bot is going to be a mushroom storage bot. He's going to pick up loose mushrooms and put them into the storage area. And let's just look at the code really fast. We're going to have him fill up on mushrooms in a specific area until his hands are full, and then move over to the mushroom storage and empty out his hands. We're going to do that until the mushroom storage is full, and we're going to do that forever. Now, I don't have any mushrooms in this little area right here, but I have some spare ones laying on the ground. So I'm going to have him pick those up and just store them really fast. I will move this area once I start planting. All right, speaking of planting, we're going to make a mushroom planter. We happen to have another bot laying around, and we're going to have him take from the storage and then drop off that mushroom into a empty hole. We're going to have him do that until his hands are full, and then we're going to have him plant until his hands are empty, and we're just going to continue to keep looping forever. We're going to make a minor modification to the storage guy. You know, sometimes when you're picking up stuff, there isn't enough items to pick up. And so you still want him to drop that off. So we're going to go ahead and say, let it flow through, let it fail if there's no more items. So let's say I can hold 4 items, but there's only 2 items there to pick up. I'm going to pick up those 2 items. And then if I can't find any more, I'm going to fail and I'm going to drop off to the storage area. I also at this time want to move this guy's radius to be just the farm. And since mushrooms kind of fall outside of the farm radius, I just want this to be 1 square around the farm so that he can pick up anything that falls outside of the farm area. And now we have our mushrooms being planted. So we've got a little partial farm going on. It's not quite complete. So let's finish it out. We need a final harvesting mushroom bot. And he's going to need a shovel, so have him grab a shovel. And we're going to have him use the shovel on mushrooms that are grown. And we're going to have him do it only in this little specific area right here. And we want him to run until the storage is full. And we want him to run forever. Now, plants do take a little while to grow. And so it's always wise to have a big enough farm in order to be able to farm stuff effectively. So you might want to think about growing your farm up. Once the mushrooms are grown, my little digger harvester guy will come over and he'll harvest up the mushrooms, and the whole cycle will run over and over again. Eventually, we'll have an excess in the storage, and that excess will be used to feed our colonist. All right, we got our mushroom patch done with official farming food. We got our little award, and we got a little mushroom hat. Another commemorative slab for us. I went ahead and expanded out my mushroom farm just a little bit. And if you notice, I don't have any rechargers in this area. So it'd be good to set up another recharger at this point. And I moved that recharger into my rechargers group. And I'm going to make another group here. And we're going to call this group Farmers. We're going to have a lot of farmers. All right, eventually your storage will get full. And you're going to need more storage. We only have one storage unit right now. And so we need to either start using this up, or we're going to need to expand out our storage. Let's start using it up really fast and start feeding our colonists so we can start producing WUV, which is research bytes that we can use in our research station. I'm just going to call this food delivery, and we're going to have him pick up some mushrooms, and we're going to go and we're going to feed our colonist. We're going to do that. We're going to pick up mushrooms until our hands are full. We're going to feed colonists until our hands are empty, and we're going to do that forever. Now our colonists have finally started producing some WUV, so we're going to store that WUV off. My next bot, I'm going to make a WUV storage, so he's going to go and he's going to pick up some WUV, and he's going to put it into the storage unit. He's going to do that till his hands are full, and he's going to store it until his hands are empty, and then he's going to do it forever. The last part of the colonists is actually using the WUV in the research facility. Now, I got rid of the other research facility just to simplify this. I do use 2 later on, and that's just to speed up research. The cool thing about Autonauts is there's a lot of different ways that you can do things. I prefer having 2 research stations to process the WUV faster. Instead of putting it into storage, I like to process it right away because it does take time to process WUV. In the early stage, that processing is really quick, but when you get up into the later stage and WUV is like 1,000 WUV or 10,000 WUV or 100,000 WUV, it does take some time. And depending on how many colonists that you have, you don't want that WUV. Well, personally for me, I don't want that WUV backing up in storage. I want it being used in doing some sort of active research. So we're just going to call this WUV delivery, and we're going to take the WUV from the storage, and we're going to drop it into the research facility. We're going to do that till our hands are full, and then also our hands are empty, and we're going to do that forever. And there he goes. So we've automated the research facility. You can see that it just takes him a minute. We've completed some research, so we actually get some new tools. We've got the fishing stick, the wood mallet, with the crude blade, and we can go and we can pick something else. We can pick another research. My suggestion is to go in and look and see what's important to you at this time. I really want to get to basic bots, but what does that mean? What does it take to make a basic bot? You can look those up by going into the blueprints catalog and look for bot, and you can look at basic bot. And in here's the basic bot workbench. It tells you what it takes to make that. And if you go into the bots area and look under the bots section, you could see what it takes to make a basic bot. A basic bot head is the basic workbench and then some items here. And then the body, we have these items. So since bots are really important, let's go ahead and do the robotics technology, which is a tree seed. And since we're producing enough mushrooms, let's go ahead and build another colonist. We can actually get a couple going. Let's get, we'll have 3 for now. We'll take this guy and just drop him off next to his buddy. Since we created 3 colonists, we've got a little achievement unlocked. And we wind up getting a couple different things. We get some shirts, a baseball cap, a direction sign, a regular sign, and a scooter for us. And these are all really important. And we also get the wardrobe. We got our first wonder. Another commemorative slab. And in the next video, we'll talk about how to progress in the future. Otherwise, this is the main gist of the game. Automating bots to do a process, and that process usually revolves around keeping the colonists happy. You want the colonists producing love as much as humanly possible, because as you get higher up into the research tree, some of these researches take enormous amount of research bytes. 500, 1,000, these are okay. So when you start getting into 10,000, then it's a little bit tougher. I'm producing them one at a time right now. So you're going to have to upgrade your colonists and get your colonists to the next level. Currently, we're at level 1. And we want to go to level 2, level 3, level 4, but they all have requirements that they need in order to produce love. And the focus of the game, it will be providing those needs. So you're going to have to build production lines to achieve those needs in order to keep progressing farther and farther into the game. So future videos about Autonauts will talk about strategies, what you should do to progress to the next level, how to make things faster, maybe a little bit of efficiency. We'll look at all of those in future videos, but the helpful guides up until this point have been focusing on getting you to here, which is taking care of colonists, producing love, and doing research. I hope you guys have enjoyed this series. If you have, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Would love to have you in the community. If you want to follow me on any of my social media, you can find the links in the description below, and make sure to hit that notification bell. That way you know when I go live and when I post new videos. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.